Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff here again. And while this is sort of kind of a thread response, it's really more of a, hey, what's new? Because this is for Mike over at MGK Boston, or Buffalo now. And the idea was just to show 3 recent albums that have been listened to quite a bit, that you've had a hard time getting off the turntable. And actually, these 3 albums are albums that I have never shown. So this is a combination of some new stuff that I've gotten that I've never done a video on, as well as just a little fun to show Mike's support the thread that Mike has started. So yeah, some of these I've had for a few weeks. Some of them I've had for, well, gosh, this one I've had a couple months. So anyway, yeah, and for one reason or another, I just had never shown them in a video yet. I guess the topic had just never been jumped on. So yeah, so these are albums that I've given quite a bit of listens to recently because they're really good. And this one, I'm surprised. So I got the complete recordings of the Bible Black. This is a this is released on High Roller Records a while back, I think. And so I was surprised when I found, I forget, I was ordering something online and found a copy of this listed for fairly inexpensive for an album that came out the 2023, 2 years ago. Usually when High Roller Records come out, you jump on them or they end up skyrocketing sometimes in price, but this one not so much. If you're not familiar with this, Bible Blackheart, it's mainly a recording of, it's a vinyl, first time on vinyl release of, I think, 3 total demos from the 80s. You kind of read the whole story. There's a bunch of people involved. Each one of the 3 demos has different people, for the most part, different singers. Jeff Fenholt's on here. You've even got Joey Belladonna from, you know, when he was younger, from Anthrax fame. Sang one of the last couple songs on the demo. But the members of the band are made up by some New York musicians at the time, and I kind of get the impression that, I mean, some of the guys are from Elf and Rainbow. So we know that Elf became Rainbow, and then, you know, Richie kind of bumped the band and brought in some other people to form another Rainbow. So some of the guys from that band, Gary Driscoll, Craig Gruber. Craig Gruber apparently recorded the bass parts on Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell, and then they went back in and re-recorded over it, according to the story. He played originally on that. So a lot of musicians here that, you know, are of notoriety. But anyway, so they got together, and like I said, there's 3 different demos. The first one had one singer, the second one had Jeff Fenholt, the third one had Joey. So it's kind of a first time. I've had a CD or a digital transfer of a CD of this for a handful of years that sounded okay. But I have to say, the vinyl, I don't know if what they've done to clean it up, but it really came out a lot better. It comes with, let me get this out of here. It also comes with the 7-inch, which has 2 extra songs. So the actual album has 12, and then 2 more makes 14 total. So yeah, it was kind of cool to get this as a package deal, and it's really good. It sounds good. I mean, you know, it's, like I said, 81, 82, 83-ish is the time frame for the 3. And so, but it's great to look back at what was going on back then, at some musicians that we knew at the time, or, you know, have went on to do other things. So I was glad to get this, and have been spinning this a while recently. Like I said, I've had the digital for a while, but can't say I've spent a whole lot of time. I was aware of it, but, you know, it's given new life on vinyl. So yeah, that's a new one. This one, well, let me go back. This one's probably the oldest one in my possession. No, that one's the oldest one. This is the next oldest one, Cursed by Iron Jaw. New band, fairly new band. This is on Scott Waters' label, No Life Till Metal. This is old school metal. I think Judas Priest, maybe a tad bit of Iron Maiden in there, but a lot of Judas Priest. Scott had carried their 2020 album, and I bought that a couple years ago from his site and fell in love with it. I'm just like, this is just, you know, manly metal, just, you know, solid stuff. And so when he actually put this one out, I'm like, well, yeah, I jumped all over it, and it's good. I would, like I say, I hear a lot of Priest influence in here. Just a bunch of old school rockers. Came with the autograph photo here. Great stuff. So yeah, if you are not familiar with this, or you want to check out something that's new but yet, you know, has that flair for a classic sound, go check out Iron Jaw. Go to Scott's site, No Life Till Metal. Pick it up. It's great stuff. It's available on CD and vinyl. And so, yeah, this one I've been really enjoying a lot. This one is the most recent that came in real recently. And even though it's a 2023 release, somehow it's escaped me that it was on vinyl, and then I did not learn about it till recently. And that's the new one from Hurricane called Reconnected. 2023 return with an album. They were an 80s band in the hair stage. I saw them open for Stryper in 87. And then they did a couple albums, 3, and then they came back later and did a 4th, and then they've come back many years later and done a 5th. I have the first 2 on vinyl, fairly easy to find. 3rd one, near impossible. 4th one, never been on vinyl that I'm aware of. So this is the new one. So if you're not familiar with this band, they were just, you know, they weren't just another, they had some reason they weren't just another hair band in the hair band days. The guitar player and bass player are related to a famous guitar player and bass player, if you're not familiar. So the guitar player is Rudy Sarzo, bass player's brother. So the, and let me get his name here. Robert Sarzo is the guitar player for this band. He's the brother of Rudy Sarzo, who is the bass player for all the bands like Quiet Riot. Let's stick with Quiet Riot. He's done a lot, but let's stick with Quiet Riot because Tony Cavazzo is the bass player. Tony Cavazzo is the brother of guitar player Carlos Cavazzo of Quiet Riot. So at the time, you had the 2 guys in Quiet Riot. You had the 2 brothers of those same 2 guys, opposite instruments in Hurricane. So they're kind of like the founding form, the core of this band. They did change singers on here. The singer on the first couple albums was Kelly Hansen. He did join Foreigner. Saw him in concert with Foreigner last year. He's been with Foreigner, gosh, probably 20 years. It seems like years and years he's been with Foreigner. So they do have a new singer here, which I do not. I did not. Dan Schumann. I couldn't find what else he had done in the past. And Mike Hansen, surprisingly, not Kelly Hansen, Mike Hansen on drums, who again, I can't find any history of what he might have appeared on, at least not according to Discogs. But yeah, so the 2 core members of Cavazos and Sarzo have brought back this, and it's solid. It's just solid melodic metal of the 80s feel with a modern flair. I've really enjoyed this, been really spinning this a lot. It just sounds really good. I had listened to this digitally when it first came out, and then I kind of forgot about it. It was kind of like on the back burner, so much music. And then I revisited it for some reason, and then I thought, you know, I wonder whatever happened. You know, I looked it up, and I found that it was a vinyl release. And I went on Amazon, and there it was. And it was a little pricey, but I knew that it was only going to get worse. I mean, it was over $30, and I wasn't really a fan of that. But I went ahead and bought it. Then when I got it, turns out it has a split seam at the top. So I turned around and asked Amazon. I said, look, this was a new record, not a damaged record. And Amazon is like, yeah, we get it. And they, boom, knocked 20% off, brought it down into the $20-something realm. So made me really happy to finally have this. And there are a couple versions of this. It's on Escape Music, and they're limited. This one is kind of a, I don't even know, it almost looks like coffee, but in the light, it's kind of a marbly maroon. And then there's a silver one out there, and they are limited, numbered. The silver one is 300. Couldn't find anything about how many of these there are, but mine's number 23. So maybe another 300 on this color. I couldn't find any details online. But yeah, great stuff. So if you're not familiar with the new Hurricane, check it out if you like that kind of stuff, because I do love that era. And this sounds great. And the other one's great stuff, you know, various stuff. That's it, though. Mike, thanks for this, for bringing up a reason for me to show some new stuff. And yeah, keep spinning some rock and roll, and I will see you later. Rock on and rock hard.